Welcome back, folks. So we've got the Bulldozer. We didn't actually get round to using it. So I think today would be no time like the present kind of thing to use this thing. Get the ripper out of the way so we don't catch it anywhere. We'll fill ourselves up with fuel first. And then we'll just get on with it and hammer away. Right. So I'm not entirely sure where to go with this. On account of, obviously I want to go up the hill where we're digging out. I want to bring it into us, but the conveyors only go so far, so I don't really want to go beyond them if I can help it. I notice we've got a little bit of coal or something here. So maybe then, if we use this bit of mountain as our end point, and then I'll just push everything that way. There we go. So we don't... Oh, basically where we are then. We don't need to come any further back than where we are. Just trundle everything forwards. Hopefully this will help just move the terrain a little bit closer to us in some respects. I do need to start working off that loan again because I took out a huge amount just to buy this after paying it all back. But hopefully this should help us visually be able to change the terrain a lot more, so it'll feel like we're actually getting somewhere. Maybe if I can actually get the blade to cut in. Seem to be zooming across the terrain pretty well. Maybe not making as much damage as we were hoping though. Come on. Seems to be quite speedy. I know it's only like 8 and 10 Ks, but it feels like it's a lot quicker. A lot quicker. There we go. That's that out of the way. Ooh, with this we will be able to see if that little bit of ore is actually ore or whether it's just the different changes in the greenery. I've got a feeling it's going to be ore looking at it, but as for what ore, assuming it's going to be coal, as most stuff is. I'm just going to take this to the conveyors. We need a little bit of cash flow. Not a lot, but a little bit nonetheless. If we can get to a point where we've got no green, that'd be nice. It'll let us know that I'm actually making some sort of headway. Be ideal. Gonna take a little bit of time, but we don't mind that. We've got the time. Right, let's get rid of these trees, I think. If we get rid of the trees... There we go. Clear the area out a little bit more. See what we're getting then. There we go. So yeah, there is a big chunk of ore there. Let's see if we can't see what it is. I imagine it's going to be coal. Everything else is coal around here, so it's similar to everything. So yeah, it's coal. Cleared the dirt off the top. Steady. Right, it's also well and good me doing this, but I'm spending money with the loan repayment, so I need to get some back. We think another conveyor down the side. It's another 5 grand if we do. Maybe, and then we could push across the top if we've got a couple more. So I need to get some money in, and then I'll get... I haven't got any in the inventory, have I? No. So yeah, I need at least 10 grand to get conveyors. And then we've got to have enough to pay back the loan payments a little bit as it goes. Because I think they're about 400 and something, maybe, at the minute. So probably get to 15k before we start looking at the conveyors. Just to make sure that we've got a little bit of wiggle room. It's up to 9k, so that's not too... Oh, straight away a low payment comes out as soon as I say that, never mind. But we should get on top of it easy enough. Should go up to 10. No? Maybe not. Maybe there wasn't as much coal in that scoop as I first thought. There we go. That's 10. I thought there should be a little bit of coal here as well. Have I covered it all up with dirt, or is it just not as big as I thought it was? Comes the rain again. It is going to be cool if they can get a way that the rain actually has an effect on the ground and stuff around you. I don't know if it is a possibility though, we'll see. I'd like to have a little glimpse in time and see where this game's going to be in another year or 2 years from now, especially if they keep working on it. Storm's so cool. Oh, that was terrible. That was a big miss. Never mind. Right, so I'm going to buy one conveyor at least, just to give us that little bit of expansion. Oh, they're actually 5.8. I didn't realise that. Now, in theory, we should be able to use this. Might need to clear across the top of the conveyor. We'll see what happens. Take a big bite out the side if we can. We'll go from further back here. See what we can move forwards. Whoop, not an awful lot. There we go, that's better. As we start to clear this conveyor up, so it's not surrounded by dirt and buried, it is going to be useful. And that's the end of the storm, hopefully. It should be making its way from us. Yeah, we're starting to brighten up a bit more. Happy days. I do like the lightning, it's pretty cool. I'm going to try and get over the top of this to push from above. No, it's going to be a little bit tricky due to the fact that we've dug the big hole with the front end loader. So we might have given ourselves a little bit of trouble, but where there's a will, there's a way, right? Be able to get it here. Maybe not, maybe not. Steady. Oop. Oh, it was a bit steeper than I thought it was. I thought I'd got a little bit of a ramp down there. Apparently not. Oh, now I'm stuck. Whoop, steady. Right, tilt the dozer's blade so it cuts sideways. Deeper into the hill on the right hand side. See, this is the only problem that I have now, is how you level it out. Because there's no sort of auto re-leveling feature. So it's just getting it back square, which is always a trick. Especially without GPS too. If I can get this thing back to the top, what I'll do is I'll push down from the top with this and use the front end loader to scoop. So it's like leveling from above, scooping from the bottom. That is the plan. See if the plan can work. So, shove down from here. Ooh, steady, not to go too far, don't fall myself into any holes. Beautiful. Come back down. There we go. Level the hill down. All goes well until we start turning sideways. So we just got to kind of get this lump out here. And this little bulge. There we go. That's got it. Coolio. Get him back up to the top, then we can park him up, jump in the front end loader. And make the most out of this. Right, clear up this conveyor first. Easier said than done. There we go. Conveyor's exposed a bit, it'll be easier to just keep shoving more stuff into it one way or another, be that front end loader or with the dozer, but we do need to get that conveyor exposed. I'm having struggles here. Bit better. Maybe just all warmed up back around it, just so I thought I got it. Again, some of that's passing through underneath it, I noticed. Don't really know how or why. It's almost as if either... Well, it's almost as if there's a gap between the wood and the conveyor belt. There's no other place that it seems to be passing through. It doesn't seem to be passing through the dirt side of the conveyor belt. It seems to happen in the wood side of the conveyor belt. Very strange. Anyway, it's not like it's going to stop us, so we'll just keep on shoveling. albeit a very, very rough job of it. I mean, we could use the pickaxe tool to clear it up again. There's quite a bit of ore there that I'd really like to send through the system rather than removing. We're not doing a bad job, really. All things considered, anyway. Thrown around a little bit there. We lost quite a bit out of the bucket. It was a little bit less than ideal. Just trying to see really how much we're bringing down. I'm going to say how level things are, but level is really something it's not. But just more how much of the hillside we're bringing down in comparison to sort of where we started versus where we're finishing. And it doesn't feel like we're taking too much terrain away. That's probably because I've bulldozed a little bit down, so it's not as high up and as moundy as it looked before. Don't mind that. We can get sort of maybe back to where the tree is. So we're cutting that back. I'd say that's pretty good going. Quite a lot of earth there to move, so just have to keep sticking to it. Nibbling at it. Once we've got most of the high side out, then we can usually just run the dozer over just to kind of, I say flatten it down, but maybe some sort of level it off just to bring up the underfoot kind of thing, just to make it a little bit smoother perhaps. Like after we've took the mound out, brought that down, so that then all the dozer's got to do is just kind of skim itself across the top, get rid of any real little lumps and bumps here and there, and hopefully that'll be a little bit of good progress. I just can't decide if I want to bring it back to the area that's already been cut. So what I'm saying is, obviously we've got this here. Where is it? This kind of level here, really. It might be a little bit too high. Yeah, it is a little bit too high. So we'll have to go from this. If we bring it down to this kind of level, it's lower still. Yeah. We'll work something out anyway. I'll just keep on digging away. Trying to get into this, get it removed. I'm stuck. It's not good. There we go. Right, let's just keep going. Just keep swimming. It would be nice to get to a point where we can actually put some big money in the bank. Not just 10k here or there. Go for like 50k or something on our first deposit back. Although every 10k will make a difference to the loan repayment, which means we keep more money to ourselves, so... we'll see. That overhang there is what the dozer's for. Could get it with the front end loader, but I kind of feel that using the dozer is better because it also brings a lot more with it when we bring it down. Get to a point where it's too high for the reach of the front end loader, then what? Come on. There we go. Sort of. Very bumpy. Very, very bumpy. Trying to work out the level is yeah, tricky for me. I will get it, don't get me wrong. Be simple enough. I hope, anyway. Just gotta keep digging away, really. There we go. It's a little bit back. Right, I am going to actually pay a bit back of this loan. It's going to take me a long time otherwise to just keep going all the way up. Yeah, we're paying 572 back a minute anyway, so all the more reason to do it when we've got it available in the tens to bring that down. Because you're paying £1,000 back every couple of minutes. It's a long way to get to bankruptcy. I say it's a long way to get to bankruptcy. It's not a very long way to get to bankruptcy, is what I was meaning. So we sneak another 10 away. Yeah, so that's bringing it down $12. Every time we pay back 10 grand, it brings the loan repayment back by $12. Or at least it did that time anyway. I don't know if it's a consistent thing like that, but oh boy. Making a lot of pigs here of this. My apologies for not talking an awful lot in this one. It's just one of those things, I guess, where sometimes there's just not an awful lot to say. As I said in the last video, I think, unless I cut it out, it's a game that does take a lot of time and there's a lot of patience to it. So it's just what I'm doing here. It's just taking my time and just digging away, just so you know you can keep looking back every now and again, seeing how we're getting on. Ultimately, I try and keep this video as low edited as possible. Just be real with you guys, really, so you can see how bad I actually am at the game. Very clunky, very chaotic, I guess, in terms of actual digging and organisation. Gives you that real feel for it. I have contemplated live streaming this, but don't know. It's one of those things where I personally feel, because not an awful lot happens over a long period of time, as you guys know, you've seen live streams on it. It's a game that don't know. I don't know how to explain it, obviously, because you're digging away and digging away and digging away, and it can potentially be very samey. Everybody's similar in how they, you know, everybody digs a hole. Digging a hole, it's hole can be dug kind of thing. And arguably the difference is the chatter that you get. Maybe that's on me. 100% agree there. But I also feel sometimes there's a nice kind of bit of, I don't know, call me strange, but there's a therapeuticness in just a loader going backwards and forwards over the terrain, or even an excavator, or if you're into Farming Simulator, for me personally it's like baling. I don't know why, but just using a square baler and just baling over and over again, I find it very therapeutic. So I just wanted to shut up for quite a while on this one and just let it be sort of a natural video. So this video is probably going to be a little bit longer than most. Going to seem very strange. I just thought I'd do it, just see what happens really. Let it do what it do. See what the results are. We'll see. I think a live stream would be a good idea. It's just because I've recorded videos of this series, I don't know if a live stream fits within that series, if that makes sense, or whether it should stay as videos. But ultimately, if this is what I'm going to be doing for the video on it, then maybe a live stream wouldn't be so bad. The only issue with a live stream is viewers, because everybody seems to be on a different timescale to me. I'm more European. A lot of my viewers seem to be American Canadian. It's getting the time right that suits best if I want viewers on the live stream, which is why you would live stream. Otherwise, a video like this just makes more sense because it's just in the series then, and anybody can watch it when they like. I mean, they can with a live stream, but I think there's like a, not a pressure as such, but I feel a live stream is very much, as it says, it's for the moment. It's live. I don't know many people who go back and watch live streams. But I suppose that's, I don't know, this the chat that's different with a live stream, because obviously there's a real interactive chat. There is a real interactive chat, excuse me, with obviously you guys talking back to me, which gives you that real-time feeling to it. Whereas if you're watching a stream back and you're referencing chat a lot, then it can kind of get a little bit, okay, now I've got to have the chat menu up as well. Got to see what people are saying as well as watch the video, unless you don't care about what people are saying and then you're just watching for the gameplay, in which case one of these videos is probably okay for you. I don't really know. Some say I maybe think a little too much as well. I'm slightly inclined to agree with them. Hopefully I'll try and keep this video under an hour. How about that? Less than 60 minutes. 60 minutes or thereabouts. Don't want to go too crazy wild with it. It's just showing me actually, because obviously I can see how long I've been recording this, and at this point I've been recording this for 42 minutes. And I don't feel I've actually made much ground at all. I really haven't. And I think that's something that is so underestimated about this game, is how long you can spend digging something, and actually the scale of it, you start to realise how much you can keep digging and not really get anywhere. I think that's kind of cool in some respects, because, well, it's the sheer size of this map, like all of this terrain is diggable terrain, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. And you'd think another game like this is probably going to be so OP, where you can have such huge vehicles where you can dig this entire map in, like, you know, a couple of hours or something real time. But this game, it is something that takes a while. Like, most of my playthroughs have been 20 to 7 videos sort of a thing, and they're a good couple of hours each time. So You know, you're talking a lot of hours sunk into that game, and there's no real huge hole, if you like. Say, I reference Split a lot. Split in 2 is a perfect example because all the time and effort that he puts into his game, like for all to see, his stream has been like 6-7 hours long, and over the course of 5 days of that, you see the progress that happens. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't think I could name another game out there that's like this in terms of the time that it takes to achieve anything or something. Like this is a digger's game. This is a game for people who have some time to kill and just want to dig a hole. And I like it for that reason. I really genuinely do. On one hand, it does get frustrating sometimes, I'll admit that, because you have ideas in your head of where you want progress to go, and the reality of it is it takes a lot longer than the timescale you have set in your head. But I think that's what is the sort of replayability factor to it, in that it forces you to take your time. You can't rush anything. You can't. Simple as that. I mean, sure, you could argue, even with creative mode, and even if you use explosives and stuff, but you still, I don't know, you still have to shape the terrain around you properly. You know, you can't just blast your way all the time. You don't necessarily, I don't know, have the same terrain sculpting ability as you do when you're running the tools across it. So I don't know, I find it very interesting. It's a very good teaser for the mind. It really is. Because you'll spend all this time digging and digging and digging, and then, you know, you look back and go, well, doesn't feel like I've achieved much today. How far have I actually dug in real terms? You know, it's nowhere near as far as what you first thought it was. I think that's cool, though. I do. Like I've said before, it kind of forces a patience. Start to get a real understanding of what it must be like to work with this equipment in real life. Just digging away. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to do this. There's something about it, like, it's one of those things that as a kid I was so drawn to the ideas of a digger. All I wanted was a digger. Oh, a digger in a muddy field, even today. Digger in a muddy field just so I could dig a hole. There's something so cool about it. So to do that sort of thing for work must be, I don't know, I say it must be fun. I think there's a fine line, isn't there, between when something you think is going to be amazing, then you do it for work and it's just like, okay, the fun and the excitement of it is gone now. It's just back to work. But if you look through the Discord, and you see in the Discord the people that do this for a living, they genuinely seem to really enjoy their jobs. So that must say something, at least. I seem to be stuck around the 6k value here as well. Like, I'm taking loan payments are going in, and I haven't stopped digging, but we don't seem to be getting too much further above the 6k mark. I know we're at 7k at the moment, but I don't feel that's going to be very long before a loan payment comes out again and back down it goes. So I need to kind of get somewhere into some ore or something here. Doesn't seem to be happening very well. Get this guy out of the way. Park him up, switch over to the dozer. Bring the hillside down again. There's definitely coal here. Just how we can access it for us. Where are we? I want to get this tree out of the way as well. don't think I'm going to get it this way. Oh, I might. Yeah, I will. I should do. Give it a nudge. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, come on. There we go. Bit at a time, little bit by little bit. Before you know it, we'll be right back here taking this chunk of coal out. Okay. It might not look like it, but that's brought that hill down quite a bit. Back into this Donny again. Try and dig some more out and try and get some money in. Again. Right, that's cleared the conveyor up this time. No, maybe. It kind of reformed or straight on top of it rather than actually going through it. So I am going to have to come down here, get the pickaxe tool on it, just clear it up a little bit. Okay. Perhaps it's a little bit of a cheat, but it's a tool that is at our disposal. It's not like we are cheating the game in any way. It's an ability that everybody has. It's not a cheat or anything like that, in my opinion. Just simply a man clearing the conveyor belt so that we're able to carry on doing what we're doing what we need to do, actually. There we go. Awesome. Right, so hopefully in here there's going to be some sort of something. Be it rock, be it ore, something that's just not dirt or pay dirt. Something that I don't get stuck on would be nice as well. Okay, there we go. There's a lot of coal in that. Or a lot of coal to be had at least. Not necessarily in the bucket, but it seems like we've revealed quite a bit. So that is going to be fun. Because this money's not going up. We're at this limbo now, and it'd be nice to work our way beyond this limbo. Hey, we got promoted. I didn't notice that was going up. That's cool. Genuinely didn't see that that was going up at all. I wasn't paying any attention. That's cool. So 2 more levels and then we get access to the big loader. Well, say the big loader. The penultimate large small loader, I think it's fair to say. Because then we've got the one at level 23, which I would argue is the last of the small loaders, and it's the biggest of the small loaders. And then from then on upwards, that's when we start to get towards the real big gear. Which apparently, at the moment, are just a little bit not quite right. So you're almost better off staying with the big small loader. We'll see where we get to though. Just want to get this money back. It's all well and good speaking about loaders and the sizes and everything else, but the finances just won't allow us to get it anyway, so gotta be sensible. Gotta put the work in. Gotta do what we can do. We've got another storm here as well. Hopefully it's going to be all more lightning. Good old little lightning show. Why not? That'll be fun. Been a very wet day today. It's almost like it's taking real world weather data for my location. Yeah, a little bit of a flash. So cool. I'll stick this bucket load in and then we'll go pay off more money. See what the difference makes this time. So before it was basically $12. See if we can do the math. Ooh. So yeah, $12 again difference. There we go. If I can get another 10 grand loan payment made, I'll be happy. That'll be, what's that, 30 at the minute. See where we are, see where we get to. Slowly going up the caches, but I don't know, part of me feels like it should be going up a little bit quicker than it has done recently. It must be just because all we're doing is dirt. But I felt all the way up to this point today, everything was going okay. We were getting reasonable amounts for dirt, and then all of a sudden the last kind of 20 minutes maybe, it felt stagnant. Like when I mentioned that we were around that, was it 6 grand mark or something? Nothing seemed to be moving. I'm very intrigued by that. Could just be because we were just making enough dirt to give us the loan repayments, which wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all, because we were getting very little ore, so it makes a bit of sense. It also feels that since bulldozing this lot, I'm not actually getting half as much coal as what I thought I should be. There was a seam there at one point, and now it just seems to be all dirt. So whether I just covered it up completely or whether it's had a little bit of a oopsie daisy and it's somehow all turned to dirt, I don't know. But that coal seam doesn't seem to be here anymore. Unless I've dug it out and it's just below the ground rather than going backwards this way. Tricky one. We are potentially getting into a little bit of pay dirt now as well, which is good, as it means that we could potentially look at getting a wash plant in, and it'd have a use. I don't want to get too ahead of myself though, because it might not be all that necessary. Although, saying that, as we are getting here now, it is starting to be more pay dirt, so options are there. Oop, yeah, just thrown half of that on the floor. If I go in here and scoop once more, now I get pay dirt again. I have got pay dirt again. Am I revealing pay dirt? I am revealing pay dirt, but I'm also a little bit lower than maybe I want it to be. Decisions. How much is a wash plant? It's the same as a normal conveyor. It's also down, so I think I need an up. All gamble. Risky, risky, risky. So I think if I put this here, I can put this here. The rest is all connected. Everything's golden. Wash plant is now in the system. Hopefully that'll help. Now, I know that's going to upset a lot of people because they're going to argue that there should be a sorter or a trommel or something first, and why did I do it that way? And I simply did it that way because for me, the wash plant has always worked first, It's just made, for me personally, it's just made more sense because it obviously doesn't affect any ore that you put through it whatsoever. So any ore will still go out the other end, and it will find ore within pay dirt. So as long as I put pay dirt through, it should find a little bit of ore. Why do I not put a sorter in first? Because a sorter only splits ores away from dirt and pay dirt. So it doesn't really make any difference. With a wash plant, you don't need to split the dirt away from the ore. It just all runs through the system, and the dirt, yeah, I completely agree, the dirt will still run through the wash plant untouched, but pay dirt will run through, and you know, you might find some sort of ore in there. So for me, it's the more streamlined way of doing it, and especially at the moment we don't need a fraction or anything like that. So yeah, just it's the least cost production equipment for the best at moment resource output at the moment. Now, it's going to be tricky because I don't think there's a way to monitor what we've sold. Or is there? Not really. So we've only got the ability to say what we've sold from dirt and what we've sold from other minerals. But there's no breakdown into what those other minerals are, so you're just going to have to take my word for it that it works. Unless, of course, you try it yourself. But I think we're going to leave it here for now. That's been a little bit over an hour. We've made a little bit of something. We've got a new wash plant in the way. We've got rid of all these trees that are around here, and well, after taking those 2 straight conveyors out, we've got 2 more straight conveyors that we can use in this line. So we'll see what happens. Didn't quite make the progress that I was expected to make. Well, that's why I say game happens at a more patient pace than what you sometimes want it to do. But that is what it is. There's not a lot we can do about it other than just be patient and just get her done. I also didn't get the extra 10k paid off that I wanted to, but that's because we bought the wash plant, so sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. However, having said that, I don't at the moment need these 2 conveyors. Do I? So I was going to say I could sell them both and then deposit some cash, but if I'm just going to sell them just to buy them back again, that would seem silly, so I'm going to keep hold of them. I'm going to keep doing this, and hopefully we'll make enough money that we can deposit one more 10k just before we leave. And a nice little bit that's got some coal in it, so everything is hopeful right now. There is one thing I will say about the system though, is it might cause a bottleneck. Because obviously it's trying to process all the, say, all the dirt and pay dirt, but I've not really put much through it. So it might be a little bit of a bottleneck in the system. So we might see the funds slow down as it all washes through the wash plant, but I don't know how you could do that, even if you had your line split, so it was only running the pay dirt through. Still don't particularly know how you'd do it in a way where it doesn't bottleneck all the pay dirt that you put through anyway, so I think we'll just have to make do with what we've got. We're happy with what we've got. It's given us another way to get higher value ores. Higher value ores will obviously sell for more money. More money means more XP, and more money means less loan. And that's the important thing. So yeah, we're going to be close here on 10k. We'll get this bucket scooped in. There's your 10k. Job's a good one. 11k. Boom. Get in here. Go to the bank. Pay it back. Bringing it down. We still own nearly $500,000, which is a little bit crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you again next time. Bye, everybody.